So this is the take-up of question 1 in part 2. So leaving your answer as a simplified fraction at the end and adding and subtracting fractions. So remember, whenever you have mixed fractions, the easiest thing to do when you start is to turn them into improper. And to do that, you do the big number or the whole number times the bottom or the denominator, and then you add the top or the numerator. So 2 times 5 is 10. And then plus 4, that would be 14 over 5. I'm going to keep that one as 3/4. And this one, 1 times 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. Then remember, to add and subtract fractions, you need a common denominator. And we can get a common denominator of all 3 at the same time if we want, and that will save us a little bit of time. So the common denominator between 5, 4, and 2 is 20. And so we can get our common denominator of 20. Remember, whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. And so 5 times 4 is 20, so 14 times 4 is 56. 4 times 5 is 20, so 3 times 5 is 15. And then 2 times 10 is 20, so 3 times 10 is 30. And then you can add 56 plus 15 is 71. And then you take away the 30, and you'll get 41 over 20. Remember, you can leave your answer as an improper fraction. You do not need to leave it as a mixed fraction. You just have to make sure that it is simplified. So let's look at the next one. So for this one, we're going to follow order of operations, which means you have to multiply before you add. Another thing that you might have gotten stuck on is 2. And so remember that 2 means 2 over 1. And so you might find that helpful to add the 1 in. So we're going to keep our 4 over 5 as is. We're not using it yet. We're going to do our multiplication first. So 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3. Then we're going to get a common denominator and add. In this case, the common denominator will be 15. Again, whatever you do to the bottom, you want to do to the top. So 5 times 3 is 15, so 4 times 3 is 12. And 3 times 5 is 15, so 4 times 5 is 20. And then you're going to add the tops. You're going to look to see if you can simplify. In this case, you can't, so you're done. Again, you don't have to write it as a mixed fraction. You can leave it as improper. And so let's look at part C. So again, order of operations question, just a little bit more complicated. So first step, change your mixed fraction into improper. So 3 times 3 plus 1 is 10 over 3. At the same time, we can also get a common denominator of what's in the brackets, and that will be 15. So we can actually do those things at the same time if we want to. That one will become 10 over 15, and that one will become 6 over 15. As well, if we want, we can multiply by the reciprocal. So all of those things we can do at the same time. Now we must do what's inside the brackets. Follow Bedmiss. So what's inside the brackets becomes 4 over 15. And then you have a few options. You can multiply the first two and then multiply by the third, or you can just multiply all 3 at the same time. Of course, look to see if you can cancel anything out. So in this case, 5 goes into 10 twice, 5 goes into 5 3 times, and that would be all that you can cancel out. And so we're left with 4 times 4 times 2, which is 32, and 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27, and you can leave your answer as an improper fraction as long as it is simplified.